I would now like to present the NJSBA Board Member Academy Awards. Not like Hollywood, but they're our academy. First, I would like to introduce the Master Board Member recipients. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Will the following individuals please come to the front of the room as I call your name? Linda Gilch from Gloucester Township. Karen Graff from Washington Township in Warren County. Michael Lee from Tabernacle. Lois Parker from Pine Hill. Ellen Reese from Gloucester Township. Bill Sullivan from North Hanover. William Taggart from Lepatcong. John Vandermolen from Passaic County, Manchester Regional. And Pete Windrakowitz from Malwa Township. And again, I'd like to extend my congratulations and thanks to all of you for everything you've done for the kids in New Jersey. The first tier of the NJSBA Board Member Academy certification is Certificated Board Member. The second level of certification is Master Board Member. The Master Board Member programs are designed to enhance interpersonal skills, strategic planning, negotiations, and leadership skills, enabling members to better govern the course of education in their schools. To receive the Master Board Certificate member, members must have earned the Certificated Board Member designation and 20 additional credits in the core areas of board responsibility. Candidates must also demonstrate mastery of the core areas by passing an NJSBA-administered exam. So it is my extreme pleasure, again, to thank all of you for everything you've done to be able to become better board members and represent all our children so they can get the best education they can have. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ed Blatt, who will assist me in the presentation of Certified Board Leader Awards. Ed is a former NJSBA Board of Directors alternate member, a former president of Burlington County School Board Association and the Rancocas Valley Regional Board of Education, as well as a former member of the Lumberton Board of Education. Ed's commitment to education was recognized in 2008 when he became the first person in the state to receive the Certificated Board Leader Award from NJSBA. Those of you that were at the elections that took place last May may remember that I mentioned Ed's name as being one of my mentors. We did a lot of things together over the years, and it's my pleasure to have my mentor and good friend Ed Blatt here with us tonight.
Thank you, John. Yes, John and I go back quite a few years. I was there when John first got started in a position of leadership. It was in the Burlington County School Boards Association. It was at a spring dinner, and I needed, as president, I needed to fill a position for legislative vice president. So I made an announcement at that meeting. If someone was interested, would they please come up after the meeting? That's when I met John for the first time. And since then, John and I have been together on numerous occasions, both local, county, state, and even to FRN a number of times. I've seen John over the years go from being good to great. And since John has and I have really not seen each other too much over the past few years, I can see now that I've come back that John has gone from great to outstanding. So maybe Mr. Collins needs to write a new book now, from great to outstanding. But like I said, we've been together at many meetings, so much so that the two of us, if one of us was missing, someone would say, Cassie was one of the ones that would always say, well, where's John? Or where's Ed? If one of us wasn't there. So we have been through a lot together, had a lot of experiences together, many trips in the car, carpooling, where we've solved all the world's education problems on our trips driving to different meetings. And in some cases we were successful. In some cases we even talked about legislation, which actually did become law. So we've been through a lot, and I am so glad to see that John is making his way up to the certified board leader position. John, we applaud you.
One is on the side over here.
Mr. President, a point of personal privilege. I'd like to let everyone know that you're on your board, but you could lose that position. You're not going to be on the board forever. I wasn't on the board forever, so I have lost that position on the board and lost my seat here in the board of directors. But there's something that cannot be taken away from you, and that is what you receive in the way of training through the Board Member Academy. The certified board leader education that I got has been put to use beyond school boards. About the time that I left my board, I joined an organization called the Rayburn Society. It's a not-for-profit corporation incorporated in the state of Illinois, but has a headquarters in Denmark. My wife is from Denmark. That's why the relationship to Denmark. Within the first year, I had a call from the president of the organization. Apparently, he found out that I had some knowledge and background in education and leadership, board leadership. So he called and asked if I would take a position. He wanted to appoint me as a member of the board of directors for this organization that had become open. So I took that. I was very grateful to have been asked to do that, was eventually reelected, and now have been able to use some of what I've learned in the way of strategic planning, bylaws, and Robert's Rules of Order. Although when we meet in Denmark, they never heard of Robert's. So I tell them, well, it's a parliamentary procedure similar to what your parliament, the Danish parliament, does. So then they start catching on that there needs to be a little bit more formality with their meetings. So, like I say, you can use your education as a certified board leader, master board member. This is something that someone cannot take away from you. So I encourage you all to continue to learn more. Go for that certified board leader if you haven't reached it already, and give it a try. And remember, that'll always be there for you. Nobody can take that away from you.
Now I would like to present the Certified Board Leader Award to the other recipients. As I call your name, please come forward. Daniel Amanda from Mount Olive. Daniel?
Mr. Johnny Bulina, President and members of the New Jersey School Boards Association, I thank the association for the honor of recognizing me. I also thank the association for making valuable tools available so that we can become better board members. I'm very happy to receive this award from New Jersey School Boards Association. Thank you very much.
Next one is another one of my cronies from Burlington County, Mike McClure from Maple Shade.
As Ed said, you know, I've been in Burlington County for a long time, and Ed Blatt was one of my mentors, as well as John Bellina, and I can't be thankful enough as well for what New Jersey School Board has taught me. In the business world I'm in, also, all the education that I got from the association has worked in my business world as well as in my school board everyday task. So everything that's gotten from what we get from New Jersey school boards can be used elsewhere as well. So I do encourage, just like Ed said, that everybody take as many courses as you can, because it's always useful no matter where you're at. And thank you very much for this the board.
Next, we have Linda Gianni, I probably butchered it probably for you, Linda, from Andover Regional and Newton.
Thank you very much for this award. It's appreciated. I appreciate having the accolades and the training that you've provided me. If only my paying job would do the same, that would be nice. I was fortunate enough to be on the board when Maria Billick was our field service representative. And as she progressed through the association, she always continued to support us. And I noticed that that's what all the field service representatives and the New Jersey school boards always does. They support us through thick and thin, through good meetings and those really terrible public meetings that we sometimes have. School boards is always there to help us, to train us, and to get us through those tough times. Thank you.
Next, we have Art Griffa from Orange.
First of all, I thank New Jersey school boards, but I've had the privilege of working with some real dedicated board members in Orange, and we all have the same theme, and it is keeping youth in front of us and knowing what is going on. I also want to credit my wife, who has been very supportive of my being on the school board, for all those dinners that I missed, and the lunches and the promises that I made, and then get there. But she was used to that, having been a retired YMCA director. I learned a lot from the Y, have used that, and it's been enhanced through all the training that I've gone through the school boards. We are the hardest working, underpaid public servants in this state. If the legislature could do its half, if our legislators knew as much as we did, we would have a surplus. Thank you.
Next, Vicki Hood, Greater Egg Harbor Regional.
I want to thank the Academy, that's the board member Academy, of course, for providing the training that we all need and can certainly use in our everyday life as well as working with the children. I was thinking today, what was I going to say tonight? And then I'm thinking, God, how did I get to this point? And how did I get started? You know, what brought me to this point? And it was that I volunteered to bring the juice boxes. And the moms out there will know exactly what I'm talking about. Why am I nervous? I also, there's many people in this room that have inspired me and that have helped me along the way. One of them that comes to my mind first is Jane Kirshner. She was, I think that I got started at a strategic planning meeting in Galloway Township, and she just moved me along the way. So thank you to you all. See you later.
Next, we have John Massinelli from Fairlawn.
Little did I know that 20 years ago, when my wife said, someone has to speak for this PTA before the board, that I'd be on 20 years and I would become a certified board leader. I'm very proud that this night my board is also becoming certified, and that was a long road, and I'm not the only hardworking board member on my board. We've got at least two more that'll be board leaders shortly. Thank you very much for the recognition.
Next, we have Dan Sinclair from Wanacue.
Well, I've been in education in one form or another for about 40 years, and I think the most rewarding job that I've ever taken on is that of school board member. I'd like to thank the School Boards Association for providing the training that allowed this to be possible, and my only hope is that next year there'll be 150 people in here getting the same award. Thanks a lot.
Next up, we have Everett Jennings from East Orange.
It has been my pleasure for the past 12 years to have worked with some of the finest men and women that I've ever met, no matter where I've been. So I want to thank all of them for giving me the knowledge to do my job. The only complaint I have from my board is that I did it too well because I know everything. Thank you so very much.
And last but not least, we have Frederick West from Rockaway Township.
I'd like to thank New Jersey School Boards for this honor this evening, and I'm very proud to represent Rockaway Township, Morris County, and school boards. I always felt it was to be a member of the School Board Association and not just be a body, but to take the initiative and learn and become a better board member for my town and my community. And it's vital that all board members take the responsibility to take courses and to learn as much as you can to be the best board member that you can be. And I want to thank the school boards for having these training courses that afforded me the opportunity to learn and to represent myself, my town, and my family. Thank you, and have a good weekend.
First off, I want to thank Ed for being here tonight. I want to thank all the certified board leader as well as the master board members who are here this evening. But as I'm listening to the comments and what Ed said about me, it seems that Woody Allen was right, that 80% of success is just showing up. And it sounds like that's the way some of us got started, by volunteering one way or another, or somebody said, why don't you try this? But again, thank you for all the time and dedication you put into for the students, because we are the best trained board members in the entire country. You may not realize that, but if you've been to national events, you find that out. So again, congratulations. Through board certification, the NJSBA Academy recognizes mastery of the unique aspects of the group process, how board members work together, and what their chief school administrator determines how successful their deliberations are. Boards earn their certification by having NJSBA staff conduct programs designed specifically for them. Criteria for the board certification award include spending at least 18 hours in training activities directed by an NJSBA field service rep, participating in at least one retreat, and conducting a board self-evaluation. The first board to be recognized is Fairlawn. Here representing the Fairlawn Board of Education are Michael Rosenberg, President, and board members Elise Frankel and John Massinelli, and their NJSBA Field Service Representative Alfred Annunziata.
First of all, I'd like to thank the New Jersey School Boards Association. When I joined the board, I found out that I was a member of a very unique, caring group of people. And our board really works together. We learn to argue, but with love, and just get things accomplished with the students in mind every step of the way. We've been trying to get this certified for a great many years, and we got it accomplished, and we're looking forward to the next level. Thank you.
The next board to be recognized is the Flemington-Raritan Regional Board of Education. Here representing Flemington-Raritan are board members Doris McGivney and Laura Mikowski, Superintendent Gregory Nolan, Business Administrator Stephanie Voorhees, and their NJSBA Field Staff Representative Mary Ann Friedman.
I just want to thank the Academy and the Board Association for this honor. We have worked very hard over the years. Diane, it's good to see you. She was one of our field representatives, and Mary Ann has been wonderful to us also. I'm on the board 9.5 years, and it's been interesting because I taught for 32 years first. Then I decided to be a board member. And it's a whole different thing, as you all know, to be on the other side. And again, I just want to thank you for my board members who are not here, and for those who are, and our superintendent, Greg Nolan. Thank you.
Our third certified board is Winfield Board of Education. Here representing the Winfield Board of Education is Carolyn Gerhart, Board President, Fred Viteca, Board Member, and their NJSBA Field Rep, Gwen Thornton.
I was inspired to serve on the Board of Education by the mayor of my town, who put me on the ballot as a write-in 10 years ago. And I've been here ever since. I was inspired to become a certified board from a member that's no longer with us. So thank you very much, Barbara Baker. I want to thank the School Boards Association. I want to thank Gwen for spending so many hours with us. I'm sure she got sick of us, as sometimes they do, but again, thank you very much for all the time and the education that you've given me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Board recertification requires that a board earn an additional 12 credits, participate in a full-day retreat, and conduct the board self-evaluation. To be considered for recertification, the district must have also achieved a minimum of 80% of the indicators in the governance section of its most recent CUSAC review. An overall average of 3.0 be achieved in the board self-evaluation. Congratulations to Dennis Township for their board recertification award. Here representing Dennis Township is Mark Miller.
I was delegated this honor. I just want to thank New Jersey School Boards for this honor. A board that works extremely hard, communicates with their superintendent communicates with their board, and we just want to continue our progress with school boards and also to continue to work hard to move our district forward. I started in July, and I was very excited to start with this board because they are movers and they want to see the best for the children, and it makes my job a lot easier every day. Thank you.
At this point, I'm going to ask you to please give a round of applause for all the award recipients here this evening.